gap and got the sack. And not the sack, but the tackle for a loss.
So now scoreboard at 2nd and 14, but really 2nd and 11 from about the 14.5. He's looking to his right quickly. He has an opening in the flat, caught by number 23, Koali'i Nishigaya. And there's sort of a swarm going on. No ball loose, however, just powering forward. And that'll be about a 6-yard game, and that'll lead to 3rd and 3 or 4. Or 4 or 5, excuse me.
And one thing we're seeing with St. Louis right now is they're running their routes extremely well. The Baldwin defenders are very confused as to where the receivers are, as we see here. Just that out route there, boom, right there, able to make a few defenders miss and get a respectable
It's great
game.
movement because the receivers basically run screens for each other.
I mean, really, the St. Louis team is playing such a high level of football. It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. Cordero again in the shotgun. He wants to snap, so not giving it to him. Finally does. Running the option there. Cordero tosses it out wide.
Looks like that'll be just short of a touchdown, but he was able to just get the ball right out in time. A little bit of triple option there.
Yeah, going back to the old days of Hawaii football. If you're just joining us and wondering why in the second quarter with 7:54 to go, the Crusaders starting quarterback Cordero is still out there. I was watching the replay. This option, it's because he's only had the ball 3 times. This is only the 3rd possession he's actually gotten the ball because we've had 2 punt blocks, brought back 4 touchdowns. So he's had short fields to work with. So giving him, this is the 3rd possession. This would probably be his last. The handoff goes to Hallams, who stumbles his way into the Baldwin line. He'll get a yard there. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Yeah, just on that play, wasn't able to get some momentum. His momentum took him to the left, and Baldwin was able to wrap that one up.
Call coming in.
As you see on the replay here, he tried to make the cutback, couldn't really get his momentum back forward, and he was stopped before he could even readjust his body.
So Cordero trips receivers to the right. No press coverage. You've seen that a bit, and Baldwin's gotten burned on that for the first touchdown. Handoff to Tamarick Hallams. He's got a hole, but it closes quickly. He moves the pile, and they're going to mark him down at the half-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and very short on the goal line. My guess is they'll power it right back up the middle. They're going for
the only thing is this isn't really something St. Louis is known for in power football up the middle. This was a problem that UH run and shoot offenses used to have. Like, they'd be at the 5-yard line, and they couldn't get those last 5 yards because they're not built for that. Yeah. But Baldwin's showing some mettle here.
Yeah.
This is how you build a little bit of confidence. You start to get a few stops, and who knows, if you can get another stop here, you might force a field goal.
Shotgun again for Cordero. Handoff again, and Hallams is easily in there for a touchdown. That is 6 more points on the board for the Crusaders. It's now 32-0. And we'll see the kicking unit come on for the Crusaders here to kick the extra point. We'll see the kicker because we've had some back and forth going on there between Watkins and Tobias.
Yeah, it's just been a rough afternoon for Baldwin so far, and I think a lot of people, even probably some players within the Baldwin organization, saw this coming a little bit, but St. Louis is just that good. I mean, this time they just used their offensive linemen to get that push. Instead of doing anything fancy to the left or the right, this went straight down the middle, old school smash mouth football, and it worked.
And Watkins' extra point is again high and through the uprights. He might have put himself ahead of Tobias here. And if there is a kicking competition going on for Cal Lee, because Tobias, again, 2 missed extra points, had a short kickoff, but Watkins has done quite well here.
Yeah, he's looking good so far. Some good kicks. Obviously, we haven't seen him try a field goal yet. That would be the true test. But with these extra points, he's leaving no doubt that that's good.
Yeah, part of it, he isn't taking field goals because, well, there haven't been any opportunities. It's 33-0 Crusaders with 6:19 to go in the second quarter. And just to give you a drive breakdown of how this game's gone, Baldwin kicked off to St. Louis. They won the coin toss and deferred. St. Louis went down, scored a touchdown. Baldwin got the ball, had to punt, blocked, touchdown. Baldwin got the ball back, 3 and out. Punt was blocked, another touchdown. Baldwin gets it back, an interception that leads to a St. Louis touchdown, another 3 and out, a punt, and the drive we just saw, another touchdown. St. Louis has not failed to score a touchdown on any drive. Really, the only blemish today has been those 2 missed extra points.
Yes, that's definitely true. Not really much going wrong there for St. Louis right now.
So Watkins, the lefty, will kick off from the 40-yard line. and with the win this time, will bring it easily 5-6 yards deep into the end zone, which is an automatic touchback, and so the Baldwin Bears will begin on their own 20-yard line.
St. Louis, though, they have a lot of time before their next game, so this is kind of their last chance on the football field until September 1st against good old rival Kamehameha. So this is their last time. Good time to get some reps for some of these other players heading into ILH play. The ILH is always a gauntlet no matter what. So for them, it's about getting prepared for ILH Division I competition and getting more and more players ready at this point.
Going back to, we mentioned the St. Francis game earlier and a big win over Kauai. St. Francis is a team that sort of, a few years ago, they broke off. They were part of Pac-5 for years and then made their own program a couple years ago. And we noticed, we've called a number of these games for a few years, is their program's gone out the ground. They had a lot of young players, an intermediate team that was competing with the big guys. We could be seeing the emergence of something from St. Francis we haven't seen for a few years coming from that ILH divisions.
Yeah, I mean, St. Francis, they still don't have ideal numbers, but they're able to still win a lot of football games and competing with some of the top teams. They came within a touchdown, I believe, last year of winning ILH Division II and making it to the state tournament. Yeah. And the ILH Division II is always pretty tough, so it'll be interesting. And also, too, while they're only competing with Damien for a state spot, they're still going to be playing against Iolani in Pac-5. So it'll be an interesting division this year.
Yeah, and they're going to have, I think if there's the year, it's wide open for St. Francis because Iolani, especially after the result against Hilo today.
That was shocking.
If they're going to be a bit distant, they've sort of been the bearer of the door. If they're going to be a bit behind, say St. Francis, and then Pac-5, their first few games have not looked very impressive for them. So it's really... And again, for the state spot especially, it's going to be Damien and St. Francis. So that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on in state football as the Bears are back out there offensively. In the shotgun, trips receivers to the left for Odo. Play action, but he keeps it. And again, I don't get the play action where you run behind your running back. It just doesn't do anything for you in misdirecting the defense. The whole point of the play action is misdirection. And so a loss of one, another tackle for the loss. The Crusaders' defense is definitely racking it up, I imagine.
Yeah, and this time we're starting to see other players we hadn't seen earlier. As on the tackle last year was Stanley McKenzie, a big dude, 6'2", 266, only a sophomore, getting some playing time here.
And again, talking about Baldwin, I'm sure those coaches would do a lot for a 6'2", 266 player, and St. Louis has him coming off the bench. So again, I just don't get the play. You don't misdirect into your play. You want to misdirect away from it. Shotgun, back to pass, looking left, a quick hit, and it is caught. I believe that is the first completion of the day. But then the receiver...
He almost got that edge, but in the end, just not enough speed, as that was Jack Raven Mamizuka there for the catch for the Bears.
And the thing about what the junior does there, we'll see on the replay, he catches it for a 2 or 3 yard gain, and he makes the mistake. He runs backwards. See, he breaks tackle and then loses 3 yards. Again, 3 yards isn't a great gain, but he cost his team 3 yards by trying to make it something bigger than it was, 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and 7.
It was good that they finally completed the pass, though, and now this is something to build on. Maybe they can try to get a 10-yard pass.
And again, that was a quick hit, moving quickly so the defensive line doesn't get in your face. Back to pass, unblocked St. Louis lineman, and that I believe was intercepted by number. Are they calling it incomplete?
I think he dropped the ball on his way down, but that looked to
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the defense.
Scanlon
number 12.
Almost came up with the
15-yard penalty.
Number 12,
automatic first
Jordan
down.
Patello came in unblocked off the right end and popped Otto before he got rid of the ball. Wasn't interception. There's
we
a
also
flag
have a
down.
penalty, and I believe this is the first time the chains are moving for the Bears. So
it might be a personal foul, late hit, maybe roughing the passer.
Yeah. As you see, it was not a bad throw. I mean, it was floated, and the Baldwin receiver in Reyes Soto had a chance to get it, just wasn't able to jump up high enough.
Yeah, but it looks like it was a roughing the passer call. I mentioned Botello came in unguarded, but after Otto got rid of the pass, he finished the hit. That's a 15-yard penalty, so that'll be the first down of the day for the Bears. They'll take it any means necessary. And so now I wouldn't be shocked. I'd try to do another quick hit here, get a few yards on first down, something they haven't done yet. Looks like linebackers are coming wide, though. And then toss out to the left. Interesting move, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
That didn't fool any Crusader defender there. Yeah. They were all ready for that tackle.
The defensive line actually was distracted by the play. They were going at the correct. We'll see on the Geico replay. The toss goes out to Bishop Wicks, and the line is coming at the quarterback. But the secondary and linebackers for the Crusaders, that's what makes this team so good. And especially, it makes it such a
you
terrible
talk about the levels of your defense. The first level might have been full, but the second and third levels were not fooled at all.
And the thing about Baldwin is the second and third level players for the Crusaders are the size of your linemen.
Exactly.
And so the problem is, right, when a cornerback is as big as some of your offensive linemen, it's going to be hard to get moving on the run. Another pass rush comes quick. A throw goes outside. It is caught by number 6, Malu Plunkett, but it didn't gain any. It gained about 2 yards, but he was taken out from the knees. I believe it was Brandon Moore.
Yeah, Brandon Moore just went right to the legs, and he was down, as we see on the replay here. Good out pass. He was open for a second, but then Brandon Moore was right there and was able to clip his legs, and he's down. Perfect
timing there. He hit him the second he caught it. So you're teaching your secondary guys, you want to hit right as the ball hits the hands. He did that there. Good job, though, by Plunkett to hold on to the ball. So back to pass, and more pressure coming from Botello, and this time there will not be a roughing the passer penalty. There will just be a sack, a 3-yard loss in the end. I mean, Otto, to be fair, he's actually impressed me. He's moved around in the pocket very well.
Yes.
Again, his line isn't doing him any favors.
And, this guy is not a quarterback, which is impressive. So, give props to him. He's stepping up to a huge role right now. As we see on the replay here, his footwork is actually not bad. He's moving like a quarterback. It's just it's hard when you're playing a team like St. Louis who can blitz as well as they can.
And the coverage is, they're blanketing receivers. I mean, again, they have size at every step of the way. They have speed at every step of the way. Looking at college recruits, you have 7 or 8 guys already who are being recruited to play college football.
And remember, this is a young St. Louis team relatively. Most of these guys, like last year, they lost a lot of good college recruits, so a lot of these guys are getting their first opportunity.
A different punter, and now it's Kurt Nainoa Keahi. Punt takes a Crusader bounce. Bears are claiming that it nicked a Crusader player. I don't think
that's a possibility because he kind of went for it, and then I don't know if he really touched her, if he just let it go, but
there is a flag on the play. It might have been a Crusader player ran out of bounds. One thing to keep in mind as the refs are discussing this, we are 2 points away from a mercy rule, which means the clock is still would be continuous and wouldn't stop running. It's only 33-0 now. The Crusaders, with 2:31 left in the first half.
I think that what that says is most of the second, if not all of the second half, will probably play on the mercy rule.
Yeah. We'll get a little 2-minute drill practice here for the Crusaders.
And when you're playing in these kind of games, these are good situational moments that can improve your football team. After still waiting for the ruling.
Looks like a 10-yard penalty. Still waiting for the referee's call.
Well, the post-scrimmage kick foul, holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
A hold. I'm not really clear how there could have been a holding because there wasn't a return, but might have happened. A blocker way away from the ball. So the Crusaders will start on their own 24-yard line. It's Cordero. Different running back, definitely the quarterback's left. It looks like Cordero. Clapping, get the snap. Gets it. Cordero looking deep down the sideline. He has his man again, though, just overthrows number 6, Zane Chang Holloway. He's had him a couple times deep. It is indeed, by the way, Cordero back out there for his 4th drive.
And I think what they're looking at is Cordero will probably play this entire first half, and Micah Bonner will probably come in for the second half.
What we saw right there, again, the offense has done a good job. We'll see on this replay. Cordero, I have been a bit underwhelmed. He's overthrown his receivers quite a bit today. He's had a lot of openings.
One thing with DC with him is he has the arm.
He definitely has the arm strength. It's about taming that arm strength. But he's very athletic in the pocket, good at moving around.
I give some credit to the Baldwin defenders in that case for holding back the receiver slightly.
Yeah, well, pass interference, good defense. Let's get caught. A throw in the flat to number 5, Kainalu Reyes Hackney.
And this is where St. Louis has been making their money today. Not necessarily these deep, long throws that are just blowing out Baldwin, but instead these short throws and great blocking by the other receivers that we see on the replay here. Cordero just rolls out, very good footwork, able to get his feet set, throw a strike right onto the outside. That time to Reyes Hackney, and he had a great convoy of blockers, able to get a nice gain.
And this is something we see, I think, great coaching. I mean, Cal Lee, one of the greats in high school, nationally, but especially in the state of Hawaii, is the handoff is held up. It was
a false start.
False start. It was going to go to Dominico, I believe.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So that 5-yard false start will bring the Crusaders back 5 yards, and 1st and 15 now on their own 41-yard line. Cordero in the shotgun with Dominique Dominico to his right, standing on his own 36. Baldwin's 3 down lineman sends a 4th, looks to his right quickly and knocked down, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Curtin Ainoa Keahi reading the play, getting his arm up and knocking it down. So it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Crusaders.
Yeah, Keahi did a nice job there getting the block on the play, as we see him on the camera. And on this replay, we'll see that Cordero able, again, another pistol set, able to throw it out to the right.
Good job by
Keahi. Getting that mitt up there, and that's a block pass.
Good job by Keahi. You know, they've been doing it a lot with Cordero because the deep balls have been a struggle, but he's pretty much telegraphing where he's going. And so the defensive line taking advantage of that, getting that knockdown. Back to pass, doing the opposite to his left. Looking deeper, though. He's holding on to it. A late blitzer comes linebacker. Cordero's chased, running around. Very Tua Tagovailoa kind of play. Finds number 10, Makoa Close, who will end up out of bounds and
looks to be just short of the first down, but yeah, you're exactly right. Flashbacks to Tua Tagovailoa. That's exactly how he used to scramble in the pocket, and not a bad guy to copy off of.
Yeah, I think probably one of the great ones. They're giving it a first down and moving the chains. We'll see right here. Late blitz comes in.
And, you know, none of the options are open, but great footwork by Cordero to scramble around. No Baldwin defender could catch up with him. Yep. And you find that open receiver.
Operator, please put 1 minute 20 on the clock. 1:20.
Yep. Especially with the size advantage you have with your receivers here. Pretty much every receiver can be open if you throw it in the right place. But again, the thing with Cal Lee and the coaching staff, they've done a great job of drawing up plays to get the receivers open. We saw some deep balls that got receivers open that Cordero overthrew. So what do? Have a lot of things in the flat, get a lot of screens. The blocking's been there, and so taking advantage of that has been I love what Cal Lee's done with Cordero today. Handoff to Dominico, who is untouched for about 9 yards, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and won't be brought down until he's tackled by number 8, Damian DeFrancia, at the 15-yard line. A great, powerful run for the big back for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and just right up the middle, great run. You know, if St. Louis can have success this year, they're going to want to find more ways to get the running game going because they're not always known for that. But look at this. It looks like they're slowly working their kinks out in the run game, and they're looking better.
Chevin Cordero, a guy who's, you know, committed to the University of Hawaii. I tell you, most high school coaches would love a quarterback who's going to go on to play college. Another handoff to Dominico, who just powers his way for 4 yards again. But in a way for St. Louis, it's kind of a downgrade at quarterback because they lost a guy who is now currently competing at the University of Alabama for the starting quarterback job, Tua Tagovailoa. Tell you a little bit, how does the offense change now that Tua's gone with Cordero in there?
It's not much of a difference. I mean, Cordero's not going to be as fast and not as physical as Tua was, but he can still sling the ball. So I feel like Cal Lee's a system guy. He's going to stay with the run and shoot. Maybe add a little wrinkles, maybe rely on the run a little bit more, but I've seen the replay here as they are trying to run it more now, in that Cordero seems like he has all the makings. If he can fine-tune a few skills, then he has the tools to be a good quarterback.
So with 11 seconds left in the first half, smart move. The St. Louis Crusaders take a timeout here to stop the clock, so they'll get probably a couple more plays. Both teams, this is the first timeout, or Baldwin. Yeah, Baldwin took the timeout. And so we'll see what would you come back with here. It looks like it's going to be a 3rd and short for the Crusaders. I imagine they're just going to run it up the middle one more time.
Yeah, probably just run up the middle and then maybe call another timeout if you don't get in the end zone and kick a field goal at that point.
So now with 11 seconds to go, again, if you're just showing us 33-0, the St. Louis Crusaders lead the Baldwin Bears. The Crusaders looking to score a touchdown again. They have yet to fail to get the ball in the end zone in any possession today. The Bears, on the other hand, only have 1 first down, and that came on a 3rd down personal foul call on the Crusaders. I mean, the Crusaders have done their job. They showed up. They were supposed to win big. They've done their
St.
job.
Louis, I know they wanted to play a little bit tougher schedule, and they were trying to schedule a a team from California to play a little bit later in the year and go up there, but the ILH schedule would not allow that, so they had to go find other teams to play just to fill their schedule up. And give credit to Baldwin. You know, they're not doing that great, but, you know, they're trying their best. You know, that's all you can ask. And this is great experience for they'll probably win Maui and eventually for the Division I state tournament.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you want some competition for you to make your in-conference competition look less, I think St. Louis is the team to do it. So another handoff to Dominique, but a great job bursting into the backfield for the Bears. Number 35, Curtin Ainoa Keahi, another player to watch.
And Keahi's been doing a good job, and I think now what we'll see is St. Louis try their field goal unit a little bit.
And let's see who we send out there, because, again, Tobias has sort of been the presumed starter. We'll look on the replay here again. Keahi breaks in the backfield, trips up Dominique. And timeout taken with 3 seconds to go in the first half. And we'll see again, Tobias missed a couple extra points. So we've seen Matthew Watkins, the left footer.
And Watkins has looked pretty good so far. He has a good leg. I mean, I don't want to make a controversy if it isn't a controversy, but it's something to look at if you're a St. Louis fan.
Well, it does seem like Tobias kicked the first extra point. I mean, it looked like it was
Tobias is still a good kicker, though. I mean, he did very well against Waianae last week. Yep. He hit some clutch kicks in the state open title last year, so this is a guy that, you know, has the experience. Yeah, and you might not be able to see this from your camera view, but we can see pretty clearly the wind's whipping here. You might be able to hear in our mic sometimes. And it looks like they're going to go for it, actually, so they're going to go for the touchdown. Again, this is probably Cordero's last play because 4th and 2. Baldwin might be able to get stopped. This is good situational football. You know, you're at 4th down. You know, you might run into a situation like this in a very important game. So just trying to convert here in the red zone. Letting Cordero finish off the first half. This is probably his last play. Looks like it's a, play action, tries to run, gets the first down, but there's no more time on the clock. So at the end of the first half, the Baldwin Bears get their first stop. And the score is 33-0. The St. Louis Crusaders lead the Baldwin Bears. And, you know, I see Coach Paul Hiley clapping his players, and I hope he appreciates their effort because they are really trying out here. This is a very tall task. A lot of football, I would say 80% of the football teams in this, if not 90% of the football teams in this country would have a very hard time with playing with St. Louis. Yeah, especially on your third-string quarterback. Exactly. Let's not forget that. The Bears, a very tall task today. And give credit to Otto. He's gone out there. He's trying his best. You know, he's trying to run the offense, and he's done an okay job with it. So now, that'll be all for Stadium Stars in the first half. We'll be right back to bring you the third and fourth quarter action. I'm Mark DeLucchi for Michael Lee. We'll see you soon.
I'm open. realize we're losing to a bunch of peewees.
Yeah, but it's hot, Coach.
What can you positive visualization?
I'm liking this positive visualization.
We love our Fujitsu.
And welcome back, everybody, to the second half action here to Hawaiian Tel Federal Credit Union Field at Aloha Stadium. As to start off the second half, Baldwin will be receiving the football. Will be a touchback, and they'll bring it out for the Bears at their own 20, starting first and 10. And it has been all St. Louis in that first half. It is 33-0 as Baldwin going to try and make a mark here on the scoreboard in the second half.
Yes. You know, games in August is usually one of those things where you have not a lot of practice time. You do those spring ball and summer camp and so forth. So even though Baldwin is down by 33, these are the building blocks that are going to make up for a long and hopefully successful season here for the Bears.
Samiu Oto is going to be in at the quarterback for the Bears, and it's going to be a keeper here, and he's still on his feet and is finally brought down as his momentum has taken him down to the 22-yard line. Short pickup on the play brings up second down.
Much of St. Louis's first string defense still on the field here, and quarterback decides to call his own number on this play. And Isaiah Fury, standout linebacker from last year's state championship squad, on the tackle.
And so second down and 7 here. Ball on the 23-yard line here for the Bears. Moving from right to left. Handoff goes up to the running back that time. Frank Galios on the run. Looks like he's not going to get anything on that play. It's going to bring up third down here for the Bears.
And Baldwin here wanting to establish the ground game, but St. Louis flowing right towards the middle there, right in the A and B gap here. And that defensive line, just a three-man line that St. Louis employs, but really holding up the point of attack.
Oto alongside with Enomoto, as Oto going to throw over the middle, but great defensive presence there by Noah Purcell, breaking up the pass intended for Kapena Kamai.
Check it out here on the replay. Again, had a pocket to throw in it, and he was trying to go for the easy target there, but Noah Purcell, he is a mountain of a man in the middle of the field, playing the middle linebacker position, 3-year letterman, including this year, of course.
Sakamoi Latu, alongside with Makoa Close back to return here for St. Louis. There's a nice high punt there from Nainoa Keahi. As Close is on the return here, as C will get tripped up that time near midfield. Chase Mata on the defensive presence there on special teams for the Bears, but we do have a couple penalties on the play.
Yeah, that was a blatant block in the back there by the Crusaders, right in front of the officials.
So we're going to take a listen here on the call and see what the penalty is all about.
Knocking back on the return team, number 13. 10-yard penalty from spot of foul. First down, St. Louis.
And Chad, the special teams is going to be so important here for St. Louis as they're preparing to defend their title this season. I think that's one of the improvements that they made from 2 years ago versus last year.
Definitely agree with that, as in at the quarterback
that time is going to be Micah Bonner, and his pass will be complete to Robbie Paikai, as Paikai will get near some of that penalty yardage back all the way to the 49.
It's going to be easy toss here for Bonner, and finds a very dependable receiver in Kekahuna Kalave.
So 2nd down and 1, ball at the 49. Bonner inside handoff. This is going to be to Merrick Hollums, and Hollums will get all the way to the 40-yard line, the 1st down and a whole lot more.
Yep, and this game we're going to be seeing a whole cadre of running backs here for the Crusaders, trying to see if they can break up on that depth chart, see if they can be in that 1-2 in the depth chart. But St. Louis, offense and defense, they're always 3 deep.
Bonner and Hollums again here on the 1st down here of the 2nd half for St. Louis. Bonner over the middle, pass is complete, the 1st down, and still on his feet. That's Tosh Kekuna Kalave, and he's gonna take it to the house. Touchdown, St. Louis. A 40-yard touchdown pass from Bonner to Kekahuna Kalave.
Yeah, Chad, it's very impressive here. Kekahuna Kalave listed at 5'6", but you're going to see his strength here because he's going to bounce off a tackle, maybe a couple more here. And look at that acceleration and that burst. That is definitely his best trait.
So now Jacob Tobias is on to attempt the PAT. He struggled a little bit early in the 1st half, but this one is going to be up, and that is good. So he's going to tack on another point. Now with 9:39 left to go in the 3rd quarter, St. Louis up 40-0 over Baldwin. And, you know, that's kind of been the story here this afternoon. I think Baldwin has done an excellent job of, doing with what they've got as we're looking back here at the touchdown replay.
Yeah, it's just going to be a simple dump off to the slot back here, but that's what Kekahuna Kalave and the slot backs for St. Louis, it's no secret. From back in the 80s, they've always had diminutive receivers that could go, especially the yards after the catch, and it really puts pressure on the defenses to tackle well.
And I also think this is a nice game to kind of see as St. Louis, with the game in hand right now, they're doing an excellent job on keeping that high intensity level, and I think that's what Cowley does an excellent job with all of his St. Louis teams, is just keeping that high intensity level, whether they're going for the title or if they're defending it, and I think they're doing an excellent job. And this is a nice test and a nice job there early in the season seen from St. Louis, as this kick is going to go into a touchback, as they're going to bring it out to the 20-yard line, and Baldwin will try again here. 1st and 10, and then just, I guess, for seeing what we've seen so far here from Baldwin, what do you think they have to do to at least advance the football here against this St. Louis defense?
Well, Baldwin, minus their possible All-State performer in Chase Akaka, what they've been emphasizing a lot is trying to establish that ground game, because they know that the ground game is going to be very helpful into winning the MIL this year. But it does pose a matchup problem, and I think what was said in the 1st half was, to diversify the offense a little bit, even though they're going out of the eye, maybe throw something short.
So Oto is going to hand it off here to Enomoto. Enomoto going to the left hash that time, but will be brought down by the original line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play here for Baldwin.
And you see they're trying to reverse field, cutting back against the grain. But good job by St. Louis. The edge defenders didn't lose contain. So even though Baldwin seemingly trying to find daylight on the outside, the Crusaders really shut the door on that play.
Just about 8 minutes to go here. Baldwin's 2nd drive here in the 2nd half, going from right to left. Trying to make a mark here on offense. Oto under center. Gonna roll out to his left. Has a little space. Does a little move, still on his feet, as multiple defenders from St. Louis will be there to greet him. Jordan Botello alongside Brian Cox. in on the stop.
So Baldwin tried to go play action here on second down, and it was really only a 2-receiver pattern, and only really one receiver that was on his side of the field. The second receiver was way outside the hash. Would have been a very difficult throw under pressure. So good job by St. Louis there solving that riddle.
So 2-yard pickup from Otto as they need to get to their own 30-yard line for the first down. 3 receivers up top, 1 on the bottom here. As pocket collapses, Otto now improvising here at the 25, but he'll get to the 26, and that is it. Going to be short of the first down. As Otto tried his best to do something with that, but the great pursuit there by the defense for St. Louis held him to a 4th down.
Yeah, you're right about that, Chaz. Alema Scanlon, number 17, looking to get some major playing time here today. And as we mentioned before, there's going to be ongoing battles in the depth chart here. It was happening from last week at Waianae, and it's going on here in this contest here. And, you know, if you want to keep the players sharp, you got to have to create some competition.
Mitchell Quinn and Isaiah Tufaga back to return. As Kurt Nainoa Keahi sends this punt near towards us. Let's see where they mark it here. It's going to be at the Baldwin 43-yard line. So St. Louis on their second drive here in the second half going to be starting to win some very nice field position here on the drive.
Yeah, and for someone like Micah Bonner, who's been on the varsity team for his 3rd year, him and Chevin Cordero for that matter, this is going to be proving time here for Mr. Bonner.
So here's Bonner alongside with Tumpap right to his right. 3 receivers up top. Tumpap will get the carry on the left side now. Finds some space, gets the first down, cuts back inside to the 20, has some space to 10, the 5, touchdown St. Louis. And just like that, another 6 points.
That was an impressive run there by Tumpap. But equally impressive was the downfield blocking of Jonah Panoke, who gave a verbal commitment to the University of Hawaii several weeks ago. And you see Tumpap, great vision there, got good change of direction, bounced it to the outside, but with big help there from Panoke.
As Tobias' kick is up, and that is good. That adds to the lead now, 47-0. And what a run that time by Kainalu Tumpap. Only a sophomore, 5'7", 147 pounds. So St. Louis moving the depth chart here, trying to get some other players some good reps here in the game as that's what we're seeing, trying to redefine plays, make sure all of our sets is doing good for St. Louis. And a great opportunity, especially for these young guys, to get into the game.
Yeah, the running backs was a group that was very senior late in last year. We had at least 4 or 5 running backs that had considerable playing time during their time at St. Louis. Talked about Dylan James Silva, who was the starter towards the final game, but you also had Jared Silofau. You also had Jimmy Gonzalez and Sean Vela. They're all seniors. So the running back race is wide open right now. And, boy, the guys have been out to play here today.
Yeah, we've seen Tamarik Hollums now in the ball game. Also, Tumpap with his touchdown run as Tobias' kick will head into the end zone as Keely Madrid will watch it sail. And not a chance to return that one as we're reaching the running clock, as it's continued to tick down now as we're at about 5 minutes here in the 3rd quarter, as our Mercy Rule is 35 points. St. Louis has 47. So it has some a little bit more insurance there on the scoreboard for the running clock.
And the advantage, especially for the Crusaders, is that with such a padded lead right now, that they're able to sit down who they feel are the top of the depth chart. Your 1s and 2s can, you know, take a break and your 3s and 4s can have opportunity to shine.
So here's Otto on first down throws as he's hit, as this is going to be picked off. Kamoi Latu on the INT, now on the return to the 10, has a chance. Oh, inside the 5, I think to the 3-yard line as he's brought down from behind. But what an interception that time by Kamoi Latu.
Yeah, Latu was playing deep safety on that play. And Baldwin, when they run the play action, they've only really have 2 receivers in the zone. St. Louis had that well covered, and Latu was that safety rotating over from center field. Easy interception.
So first and goal here for the Crusaders. Bonner in at the quarterback. As that handoff is going to be up inside to the big man, Dominique Tamiko. And he's going to take it to the house. Another 6 points here for St. Louis, and that continues to add to the lead. Yeah. My goodness.
For Domenico, he's in that battle with teammate Adrian Bates-Domingo for that power back position that Austin Tuisano vacated when he graduated last year. So it's that running back race wide open. We'll check out the replay. And for Domenico, it's a very strong kid. Good run.
As the extra point is up and good from Tobias, and that will be 55-0 with 3:33 left to go here in the third quarter. And you know, Ryan, I'm just so excited to be back in the stadium for football season. It's been a long year, and it's just really exciting to see us getting ready back here for football. We went Farrington with their new stadium. You know, that's so exciting for definitely for that school and that community. And just, I haven't been to the stadium, but I definitely want to go and check it out.
Yo, absolutely. And we have some scores just in here. Lahaina Luna versus Kamehameha Kapalama, tied at 7 at halftime. I tell you, you know, I know you're wanting to talk about the parity that may happen. Everyone's talking about Kahuku and St. Louis, but we also have some other players here, especially from the smaller schools, trying to make a name against the bigger schools.
As Watkins sends this one, and that would gets a little bit of help from the wind, as that would be another touchback here. So again, they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line here for Baldwin, and they're going to try their luck again here against this St. Louis defense.
You know what's even tougher here for the Bears, if they haven't faced challenges already here in this contest, is this wind. Now, so it's a swirling wind here at Halaba most of the time, but if you loft the ball in the air, it may hang up just a little bit. We've seen a couple punts from Baldwin here in the third quarter that got caught in the air or in the wind just a little bit more than they expected. And talked about an uphill battle here.
So 2:35 and counting here in the third quarter. The running clock is in effect, 54-0. As Baldwin is on the drive, Otto will hand it off this time up to the running back. That's David Enomoto, as Enomoto will get a yard on the play to the 21-yard line.
You know, Baldwin is trying to out-muscle and see if they could take advantage of some gaps in the line of scrimmage there. Maybe there was a momentary gap, but the strength of that St. Louis defensive line, they're very good. And the linebackers can fill, and they have very good run-stopping ability. So
Otto again under center. And so pitch to the other side this time. And the running back is trying to give chase. Frank Gallios. But Gallios will be brought down in the backfield for a loss.
Yep, and Mason Taliulu, the sophomore, number 43, just penetrate to the backfield here. He finishes up on the tackle, but it was Isaiah Felici, 6'3", 277-pound defensive lineman, a junior. He's going to be an important cog there, along with Tui Tele in that interior, that St. Louis defense here. A lot is expected of Felici this year.
So 3rd and 11 now here for Baldwin Bears, trying to move the football here. As again, this pass over the middle by Otto falls incomplete, and now it's right in the wheelhouse that time of Mason Taliulu, but he drops that to the turf, as he's definitely going to want that one back.
Yep, and that's what he's talking to his buddies in the huddle right now about how he probably let an interception slip through his fingers. Telegraph pass there by Otto. Had a receiver momentarily, but that window got shut quick there by Taliulu. As you can